What's up, y'all? Let's go ahead and get into this Married to Medicine, Season 6, Episode 6, A Room Without a View. All right, now it starts out with Eugene and Toya, their forever home, okay? Now, I don't want to count nobody's change, but look here. It just seems all wrong. You know, you just got out of debt. Now you building a house from the ground up, you know, about $2 million or whatever. 2-story closet at that. And not to mention, you know, Toya gonna deck the house down, you know, with furniture and rugs and, you know, little knickknacks and things, you know. What does Toya do? She does nothing. She does nothing, but she barks out orders, and hell, that's about it, you know. But I just feel like Toya and Eugene, you guys are moving way too fast. Slow down, you know. It just seems like every other year these people are buying homes and getting right back into debt. So, I mean, you know, if you guys want to keep up with the Joneses and Alpharetta and go for broke, you go right on ahead, okay? All right, moving on. So, Contessa, moving on to Contessa's mastectomy surgery. You know, she wants to kind of lower the chances of getting breast cancer because her mom suffered with it and ended up succumbing to the disease. So when the doctor called Contessa to, you know, let her know that we have an appointment set up for you tomorrow, we can get you in the morning. I mean, you can tell that Contessa just really wasn't ready, you know, but she's a soldier. I mean, literally, you know, I have so much respect for Contessa. I mean, just a season ago, I really didn't see it for Contessa. I just felt like it was pointless for her to even be on the show. You know, that, you know, she wasn't bringing anything, you know, that we haven't seen. However, I stand corrected. This season, her and her husband, they are my favorite, okay? You know, it takes a special person to do what Contessa is doing, and not a lot of women have it. Not a lot of people have it at all. Male, female, you know, so Contessa is she's doing the unthinkable. And so her dad called her, you know, to kind of wish her well. I guess, of course, he couldn't be there because he's going through his own sickness, you know. So you kind of feel like, okay, you got a daughter and father, both of them are kind of having some health issues or whatever, even though Contessa's is elective. All right, so Simone, Jackie, Heavenly, they all are down in Miami. All right, Simone said, you know what? Fuck the dumb shit. I'm going to cop me some Z's. Simone was in the back seat, knocked the hell out. Mouth open, looking like somebody's aged grandmother sitting in the back seat. Okay, now, Quad and Greg. Quad, she meets up with the couple from their group meeting from last season. So she's talking about Greg and how things really aren't getting any better. And, you know, Quad, look, the relationship has run its course. Let's just be clear here. It's time to pull out, go ahead and get a divorce, which we now know that's what's happening. Great, good. Okay, because, you know, it's no need to keep dragging this on for a storyline. I mean, does Quad think that if she divorces Greg, is she gonna, you know, lose her spot on Married to Medicine? You know, I mean, the premise of the show is, you know, about being married to a doctor. So, you know, but Greg is being accused of cheating, giving and receiving oral sex from some Atlanta whore. Okay, I mean, girl, Quad, look, walk away with some dignity, you know, because really at the end of the day, Greg, he wants a baby that Quad will not give him. And Quad, she wants a different type of man, let's just be honest, and it ain't Greg. Okay, I picture Quad with, you know, some muscle bound African, you know. I'm just saying. All right, so moving on. All right, so Heavenly, she's going back to her neighborhood down in Miami. All right, so Heavenly, she walked to the end of her block as soon as she, got to her home where she grew up. And hell, she said she had never been down the block. She had never walked down the block. I mean, just imagine that. We've all grown up in different little areas and everything, but hell, I've been down the block, around the corner, and back again. But Heavenly, she grew up a whole nother way. She said that her mom wouldn't allow her outside. She slept in what looked to be some sort of utility room, because it damn sure wasn't no bedroom. It didn't have any windows. I mean, I can't even imagine what that would do to your psyche, to be without the sun, to be without the outside, being able just to look out your window at random, and it's a known fact that residents who live in Seattle, where it rains all the time and it's cloudy, very overcast, and even in Alaska where, part of the year it is nighttime, so, a lot of people who live in those areas, they suffer from depression, because God meant for us to have the sunlight, honey. The sunlight is very important, okay? Vitamin D, it works well for our melanin and etc. Okay, so I'm just thinking like, okay, it had to be pure hell for Heavenly growing up and not being able to have outside activities and, being social and forming relationships and everything. I mean, was her mom mentally insane? I mean, really, was this woman unstable? She was unstable now, okay? I mean, or was she trying to keep Heavenly from being bullied, or keep her safe? Because some people will argue that, oh, well, they lived in a bad neighborhood. She was just trying to keep her daughter, out the gangs and, keep her from getting pregnant. Okay, look here. Either way, it was a very depressing and stunting existence for Heavenly, and one that I wouldn't wish upon my worst enemy. Okay? All right. So I'm not a fan of Heavenly. As some of you may know, I really don't like her whatsoever. So this episode was very telling. It was needed for me to kind of understand why Heavenly, why her behavior is always treading on erratic and being emotionless. She never felt hugs and love from her family, she said. Her mom never hugged her or paid her any attention or anything like that. And that's another reason why I think her mama was crazy as a fox. Okay. Heavenly said that she left home at 17 and she never came back. I mean, that speaks volumes. And it really lets you know that she was and probably is a tortured soul, especially when you kind of go back and think about your childhood and things like that. But I was reading a few comments and people are saying that, Heavenly didn't cry, when she ran out of the house after she realized that her dad had died inside the home. She kind of ran out. She was hugging, I think it was Simone or whatever, that, they didn't see any tears. I'm like, come on, guys. I don't think Heavenly was faking whatsoever. She seemed really and deeply hurt over not even, recollecting, before she saw the door, that her dad had died in her childhood home, so that lets you know that she has really blocked a lot of things out, and Heavenly is she seems to be emotionless. So, I mean, it probably was very hard for her to cry and, squeeze out a little tear, but I'm really glad that she made it out. I really am. And she is a success story, and she didn't let her upbringing stop her from excelling in life, and we see so many horror stories around the globe. People grow up with horrible parents or lack thereof, and they end up getting on drugs, or they, end up, living a life of crime and landing themselves in prison or dead, and she made lemonade out of those lemons. Okay. And you can't be mad at that. So very happy for Heavenly. She did the damn thing. All right. So moving on, Heavenly's friends, they kind of meet up for dinner later on that night. I thought this was a cute little scene. Looks can be deceiving, but it looks like Heavenly's high school friends, looks like they're doing okay for themselves. However, the white lady, she aged like whole milk. Okay. Po thing she looked like the crypt keeper. Okay. All right. But nonetheless, it was really great to see them all come together, and finally good to see Heavenly connect and, kind of just let her hair down and, see some pictures from back then. And Heavenly's daughter is just the spitting image of her. I mean, goodness. I mean, Heavenly's daughter looks nothing like Damon and everything like Heavenly. So, I say invite the girls down to Atlanta, Heavenly. Going and y'all going down to Peachtree Street and have some drinks and have a good old time. So those were the pertinent things that kind of stood out for me in this episode. Not really a lot going on, but it was cool for what it was. All right, so y'all let me know what you think in the comments, and I'm out. I want